Romans 5:6. For when we were still without strength, in due time Christ died for the ungodly. What is the most selfless act you have ever performed? Maybe you helped someone stranded alongside the road. Perhaps you gave a considerable sum of money to a charity. Or then again, it could be you gave up your seat on an airline flight so someone else could make it to their destination on time. Yet none of these acts compares to what Jesus did in dying on the cross so that an entire planet could be saved from sin. The simple reality is that all the selfless acts of the entire world cannot equal the one selfless act of Jesus on the cross. Yet, when I become a follower of Jesus, I put away selfishness and replace it with the selflessness of Jesus. Here's an example of how selfishness and greed work in relation to selflessness and love. Yet, when I become a follower of Jesus, I put away selfishness and replace it with the selflessness of Jesus. Here's an example of how selfishness and greed work in relation to selflessness and love. See this bag? Now, under sin, I look at the world around me and I see that far too many people are benefiting from my efforts. For every breath I expel, plants are taking my carbon dioxide and turning it into oxygen. This oxygen is then available for anyone to breathe and live, all while not paying me a single dime for what I did in producing that carbon dioxide. I decide to keep my carbon dioxide for myself. I take this bag and cinch it tight. No chance of that CO2 helping anyone now. And how long will it take for my selfishness to harm myself? Soon I will die because I was unable to get the oxygen provided so freely by the plants. But this is exactly how sin works. Selfishness with things God has freely given leads to death instead of life. Instead of blessing others, I'm a liability. Instead of sharing the love of God and how I am transformed by that love, I want it all for me. The sad truth is much of the Christian world operates like this today. Week after week, people attend church services. There they may receive blessings, but instead of sharing those blessings, they do nothing. Maybe there is no concerted effort to cling to the blessings, but their inaction harms both themselves and others. It's like a person who sits at the table and eats and eats and eats. Instead of getting healthier, the body begins to deteriorate and eventually dies. In the meantime, the starving world around us dies too. Lacking the love of our Creator, they perish in selfish misery. If we are to be followers of Jesus, we must become just as selfless as He was, even to the point of death. Do you want to know how to become as selfless as Jesus by following Him? If so, then click on the link in the description below to receive a free book, Steps to Christ, to find out more. Until next week, Maranatha!